What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another one of these episodes of Coffee and Airsoft. I am pleased to introduce the Zebra Gang over here, and they'll tell you a little bit more on that in a second, how they want to. These guys have agreed to come on to one of my podcasts to be able to answer some kind of questions when it comes to the new NSL format that I know that we are all pretty hyped up about over here for the most part. And also just be able to touch some basis on some refing. I know that we've had a discussion a few times when it comes to reps and having good reps. How we feel they are important to have a team wise of refs, not only just each teams of players, but actually having a team of refs that take the sport very serious and can be counted upon. I think they are very, very important people on the floor. So I'm looking really forward to having this conversation with them. Feel free to jump into the chat, ask any questions that you want, as long as it ain't a tech question. Let's keep it under the context. But I'm going to kind of hand it off to these guys real quick and let them tell you who they are, kind of their credentials real quick, and we will kind of get this conversation started. If I can change my screen. So yeah. Whichever one of y'all want to, real quick, pick it up. Let me know who you are. Who are you?
Yeah, I will start.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm Jeffrey. I'm one of the referees from the Zebra Gang. I'm almost there from the beginning. Had a small break in between, and yeah, I'm part of one of the head refs. So yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, hi there. I'm Alung. I've been playing this sport since day one pretty much, and then last year at about the European Championships, when my team did not participate as playing, I decided to start reffing that day and been part of the Zebra Gang ever since. Yeah. Just having a good time. Usually on the snake side, doing my job there, being part of the backline, a team there, however you want to say that. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright.
I'm Hielke. I've been playing SpeakyB-NSL for since 2019. Also joined the Zebra Gang last year. Almost ref the entire Pro Div season, and then all the championships all the championships actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I ref mostly in the back line, stand behind plexi side, and yeah, I've been playing for Chaos now for a year, and there I am. I also play backline, so I just know all the lines as a player as well, and I can use that to my advantage as a referee, since I know what people are going to do and what they're going to shoot, so I know where to look.
That's a good thing. Is what you just said. That's normally where you would play the back line, and that's where you happen to watch. Would you play snake, or is that just happen to be where you are reffing, or is that where you normally play?
It's exactly the same thing for me. I play snake side, or I prefer to play snake side. I play pretty much anywhere, but I prefer snake side, and that's why I'm roughing. And same thing as Silke. That's exactly my spot. I get to watch so many players play this position, react to different stuff happening while they are on that spot, and yeah, you just learn so much from it as a player as well while reffing. Because you can just see it in a different angle, you can step 3 steps back, stand in the open field. You can look at 2 or 3 different lanes at the same time while still seeing that player behave. Yeah. And still snake side for me, same thing. That's why I chose that spot as a referee. Because I came in as a player before and I just knew that spot the most. I know where I had to look at the most from that side. And then it started going the other way. Then I learned from refereeing, put that into playing later on.
That's good stuff. So what made y'all want to start being refs? Do you still did you, when it comes to playing, are you just shifting out of playing and just going to be refs?
No.
I mean, he's like, no.
No, that's not how it works.
Okay.
We're just getting started, boy.
I understand. So what made you want to pick up reffing? I mean, was it just something? Did you want to see a change or something? Was put an extra part into it, or I mean, what drew your
Yeah,
interest to stepping out of the
I,
game and play?
that's partially what you just said. I want to see a change. That was not completely it. It was more actually Bert needing refs for a pro div or a European Championship, either one of two, and it was Alunk and two other teammates and I, who just had a free weekend, and we were like, yeah, well, we'll just ref then, and that's where I started. And we're like, oh, that's pretty fun. Yeah, you could see the team from that event behind Alunk. And from there on, Alunk, Blue Eyes, which is an old a teammate of us, and me were like, oh, this is fun. We'll keep reffing. And we reffed the entire Pro Div season. I reffed also the German Championship, which Blue Eyes and Alunk both played. And then we also went to Gran Canaria. And Blue Eyes and I are just planning on reffing first div this year, since we're playing Pro Div. And then reffing the championships that we don't actually play ourselves. But we will just keep playing ourselves as well. This is not instead of. And I don't know for Alunk what he's going to do yet.
About the same thing.
Yeah.
Just looking for a team right now. No, but my main focus is still playing, and then everything I don't attend as a player, I'll be reffing for sure. Like, I came into reffing because, as you said, wanted to see a change. Kind of got sick, like when you play every now and then, you're like, hey, dude, I hate you, just go out, and then there's no ref around, or maybe the ref looked at somewhere else. So the mindset was like, let's help these guys out. When I'm not playing, help the other guys out, have the fairest and cleanest game that they can have. So that's why I joined the ref gang, or the zebra gang, and then it just came along. Got picked up on it. He wanted even more refs at that time. We formed this team. No, but main focus is still playing for sure, and then attending everything else as a ref.
I understand completely. So, I mean, I don't know how things are. It was. I don't know. You said you wanted to see a change. I'm assuming all three of y'all. Is that the same case for you as well, Jeff? Did you just want to see a change in things?
Yeah, I'm started. Was there at the first event back in Maastricht and Bunde. Before that, I did a lot of marshalling on the normal airsoft, the normal airsoft weekends, airsoft scrims. That's how I also know Bert. We had here in Holland we had our own field that we were all playing on and doing everything. And something happened and he started doing the Speaky B thing. And he just moved on with it and start doing the refereeing and try and build it up to where we are now.
So did y'all have? I mean, like I said, y'all said y'all wanted to see a change in it. Was there? When y'all say a change, now obviously you ain't gotta say too much on it, but was there a real big need for a change? I mean, I don't know how anyone plays over there. I know how we play here, and the things we've seen, kind of scenarios and stuff. I mean, that's a big thing. While I'm not the only one that wants to see a mass change here. Refs that actually take the game serious and find it important. Maybe that same ambition that y'all are talking about, a change. Really wanting to see that. My question is it something that was really needed? Was there a problem of people just, not calling anything, like majors and minors, like really bad, or was it just, you know what I'm saying? If you're
if I'm a jump in on that, like
same event in our head.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's one event in the first division this year, especially, where even the VOD got taken down afterwards. And it's been the first time in the 3 years that I can recall that everybody had to step on the field during an event and put it straight, listen to Bert have a rant about how much penalties we had at that time. It was fucking disgusting.
That was a crazy weekend. Yeah.
Like Hilke and I played that event, and our team came to the conclusion that if this keeps happening, we're just gonna stop playing. We're just gonna go home because it wasn't even worth it shooting BBs at people at that time. Because from a point of view, like from a strategic point of view regarding towards the point system, you could actually rely on a ref pulling you and still winning that round on points. So it was worth it for you, for example, to bunker somebody, just keep running, shooting at the next guy, not taking that hit. And if you got pulled on one of those after you just killed 3 guys, you didn't get penalized enough at that stage to really lose that round. So people were just not calling hits on purpose on that stage. And it was absolutely ridiculous, that event. Like, it was literally not worth shooting BBs at people at that day.
Wow.
Yeah. That's actually where the new format with NSL, the new penalty system comes in, just to make a switch to that a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that event, it was really a big problem that you could just get a limited amount of second degrees and only get -25 from your points. And seeing that you could get 250 points technically in one round, one matchup, it wasn't that much. And we're now making a switch to not doing anything with points, and it's just having one less player in your next breakout. And there, it could be, yeah, okay, I have one less player in one breakout. Okay, that's fine if I can take out 2 players with another breakout, another round. But what we're working towards now is that when you get 3 second degrees, which is like belt hit or I couldn't feel it, padding, whatever. You as a player are not allowed to play for 2 entire matchups. So that's pro div 2 times 15 minutes, or it was one times 15 minutes or 2 times 15 minutes. Not sure about that though. So that's on your 3rd second degree, and then on your 6th again, and on your 9th, and that's entire season. So that's a pretty big thing. And then we also have the 1st degree, which is 2 matchups not allowed to play when you get it. And we've got a major, which is like lens hit, for example. 100% sure you could have felt it. It's a big cheat. Like, for example, you're getting bunkered, you feel the hits, turn around, flick it on him, and shoot him as well. That's big problems. Then you're not allowed to play for 6 entire matchups. So that's 1 entire weekend. And before, if you get a DQ, which was same as a major right now, it would have been the weekend. But if you get it in the last round of the weekend, you could just play the next weekend again, and you only miss 1 round. And what it's now, because it's season wide, if you get it at the end of the 1st weekend, you can just not play the entire 2nd weekend. And that's why it's a really strict way of doing it, and that's why we implemented it, so that it was just not interesting anymore to do the cheats, because you as a player just getting punished hard for it.
I like that though. It's an aggressive punch of, to penalize. I mean, even the thought of just sitting out 2 games like that is like that's enough. I mean, the call it anyways, but the point of how bad it can hurt your team. 1 player, I mean, can really hurt the entire team on that one.
Yeah, so it's on the team side of things, it's only 1 breakout for a 2nd degree, 3 breakouts for a 1st degree, and 6 breakouts for a major that you're playing with 4. And then after that, it's just you can play with 5 again, but the player is gone.
Yeah.
And if it's a star player, just to give it a word, you're doomed. If you only have 2 dedicated pistol players, which is mandatory, and one of them gets a major, you're fucked for an entire weekend, because one of your M4 players needs to switch to Kappa, which they're not used to.
Yeah, puts him out of his element completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I like that though. It's. I mean, it really does give a hell of an initiative to want to play correctly, and that's different. I mean, I really like that. I'm sorry, I'm checking over here to see if anybody asked anything, because it's just rolling on my screen real quick.
Yeah, it's a bit laggy in the stream I'm reading.
That's what I read, but I checked mine. I'm watching it on my phone, and I didn't see it. I just refreshed it, so I apologize if it's lagging. Everything looks good over here on my screen. And I do not run off Wi-Fi. I'm on Ethernet, so there's... So this format. Now, the podcast, we caught the other day with Bert and Fives. Very informative. So it looks like it's a game we know, but it's not a game we know. If that, I mean, it makes sense in my head. It's something we're familiar with. We still got 5 players on each end. But it's almost like it's got the hints of football in it.
Yeah, that's what we're actually inspired by.
So give me a little bit. Give me a basic rundown of this game, if you could.
Okay, so you've got 5v5 again, but now instead of the flag being in the middle and 2 teams trying to attack at the same time, technically, it's just in Europe it was just a TDM, and then when you kill all 5 players, you grab the flag and hang it.
Right.
So that took away the entire idea of the flag, actually. And what we're now doing is that there's one attacking team and one defending team. Attacking team's got 3 tries, and they need to bring the flag as far as possible in those tries. The further you get, the more points you get, and if you manage to hang it on the breakout wall, or shoot whilst the player's alive, or shoot all players and then within 3 seconds hang it, then you've got a flag hang, and then you go into a 1v1. Then you can score even more points. If you manage to kill the player in the 1v1 and also hang the flag within 30 seconds. And from there on, when you have a flag hang, or when you are done with your 3 tries, you go into the defensive side, and the other team is doing the same to you, so having 3 tries and trying to hang the flag again or get as much points as possible. If you manage as a defending team to grab the flag or touch the other breakout wall, it's a snatch, and then kind of like an interception, and then the tries switch. So when you're in your first try and there's you grab the flag as a defending team, you go on to the attacking side, and it just keeps going on until for first div it's 10 minutes gone, and for pro div it's 15 minutes.
And 15 minutes can be a long time, yet at the same time, not enough time.
It is.
It really could be.
Sunday we played some exhibition games with my team Chaos against ATSB from Fives, and we were with 5 people, so we were just standing there, 5 guys playing every single round. I think it was 9 or 10 breakouts in a row, and just playing for 10 minutes straight, just grabbing a new mag, putting it in your belt, and going on again. And then I played, I think it was 2 1v1s there. Another teammate of mine also did a 1v1. I was just breathing with my mouth completely open underneath my mask when I was walking as slow as possible to the breakout wall, getting ready again. It's way more demanding than the old format, especially with 15 minutes.
I have to, I'm not trying to change the subject. I got a message that it was still lagging. Are y'all showing a lag? I'm very sorry if it is, because I'm not seeing it.
It does look a bit laggy on my side. It is loading every time.
Yeah, my side also. Every few seconds starts loading.
Maybe that same ambition that y'all are talking about, a change. Really want to see that. My question is it something that was really needed? Was there a problem? I'm not sure why it's doing it. Is everyone lagging? If somebody could answer in the chat real quick. Because I mean, just sitting there watching mine doesn't look like it is, and I'm watching on my phone. Audio wise seems fine too. I'm waiting till somebody answers this real quick. Well, I will ask this question just in case not everybody's lagging. So you said this was inspired by football. How did that come about? I'm so interested in that. Like, how did the football get tied into? I love it. I love the concept of it. Playing offense and defense here. I'm just kind of curious to how it kind of got drew in there.
So there's a board that was made up with players and referees and Bert in it. And I think it was actually Fives' ID, or it was an ID together of Fives and Bert. And I'm also in that, and we were discussing just random ideas, what we could do, how we could improve it. And there was all different ideas coming up. VIP players that could get more points, not needing the flag, but getting more points by grabbing it when there's still a player alive. There was actually a idea of having the Formula One. Is it DRS? DRS for catching up. Looking at Jeffrey then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was thought of that. Like if you're behind, it would be easier to catch up. And we were just throwing out random ideas. And at some point, Yorick, another head ref, he came up with the idea: why not do attacking and defending, not having the flag in the center, but having it with a player. And we started thinking about that, and it just instantly was, this is the idea. But also was like, this is the idea. This fixes problems that we had before. Having a team deathmatch, not being able to ref in the beginning, because with the old format, it was like the old format where the flag was still laying on the cross. It was just two guys going straight into the middle, and it was impossible to see if they were getting hit or not. So that was also not possible. And this idea just clicked, and we've been having meetings ever since. And that was, I think, 4 weeks ago. And we just had to speed it up. So it was a couple of meetings a week, just developing. And from there, it came to existence.
I love
it was just a big throwing ideas on the table, and this clicked.
So what do y'all I mean, and y'all are players. Jeff, you play, don't you?
No, I don't play.
You don't play?
I can't.
No.
Well, that's
I can't play. My knees and everything won't allow it.
I understand. I get that. So what do you think about it though, opposed to when it comes to what we used to see with Speed QB? Now it's transitioning to that. What do you think? How do you, I don't know, receive it? Do you think it's a better idea? Do you think it's a worse idea? Well, I mean, you can be biased if you need to be, but what do you think? The NSL is, I don't know, is it a good idea? Is what we're seeing here? Do you think it'll progress? Do you think it'll grow? Do you think it's a small phase or anything like that? Or you think we're going to see this potentially, as the format grows in the next 5 years, 10 years? Is this same thing we're going to be playing?
Yeah, for me, it's like, in the start, Bert said it to me, like, what NSL was. I was like, nah. And then he started explaining everything, like, this has to be more competitive, more of everything. And after a while, I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. This is more of a fight, attacking, defensing. Yes, this is more a sport, and that's where we want to go with it. And
so definitely something we could all. I mean, I don't know yet. I mean, we haven't played this here in the States yet. I'm really hopeful in this sport. I think we will take to this. I mean, once we have the opportunity to try this. I mean, we love football, so naturally we're going to snatch into something like this very quickly when you get a little bit of that twist of attacking defense. Which actually gets me a thought. Me and my teammates were talking about this the other day when the podcast was going. It's like that opens up a new opportunity, attack and defense. We was almost thinking about switching players. Like who would be on attack, who would be on defense. Like how what's your strong suit thing like that. Did that work for y'all and that kind of thing? Did you have to reevaluate your positions or anything and be like, you know what, on attack, do I need to be on attack? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, did it make you reevaluate that situation at all?
Yeah, kind of. We are not really in a position with my team to do so as of now. We're currently at 7 active. We're technically at 6 or 7 active players, so we're not really in a position to have like a dedicated roster attack, and dedicated defense. We want to work towards that, but we're just not having the players right now. So we just have the main roster, starting 5, and we'll work off that and switch out specific players.
So you're
we'll just be main 5.
So you were forced to play both offense and defense at
the
same time. And not to mention if you're playing an offense and somebody, what is this, a snatch? If you lose the flag, the other people got it. Now you're on defense technically, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's switched. So learning to play both sides of that would be, not just an offense team, but you're also a defense, learning to play both positions more or less. I love the
And then
idea of that.
you also have to think about the 1v1. You kind of like need to have a special team, like a guy specialized for 1v1s, because that's a whole other story playing 1v1s. And you only have 30 seconds.
It's
See,
kind of
so-
fun.
Explain that to me. Explain the 1v1 part to me. That's
So when the attacking team touches the opposing wall with the flag, that gives them the maximum points they can get and finishes their attack right. But before that happens, because they touch the wall, you completely reset and you go into a 1v1 with players you can choose at that time. And the team that just attacked still has the flag, and this attacking player now has to touch the opposing wall again within 30 seconds, with the flag of course, to get another bonus 2 points on top. So this
While
means
you're
when you usually...
while your one player defends him to come back across.
Exactly. And this guy knows what's happening. He knows he only has to keep him back for 30 seconds. And he would now think, so this defense guy, he just sits in that bunker and waits. That's not happening. Not what I saw yesterday. Everybody tries to move. You can still try to outmaneuver the offensive guy and just pop up behind him or something, just completely catch him off guard. Because he's also thinking, so that guy, he's probably right back there in that bunker. He's going to wait for me. And he's waiting as well to like catch you off guard or something and just pop up behind him. 1v1s is just a completely different universe. It's so fucked up sometimes, but it's so crazy. You can feel your heartbeat in the 1v1 every single time.
I imagine so. I mean, it's a moment to shine for both players. I mean, honestly, here's your moment. Don't let it fail. That's cool.
And then you still need like an offensive and a defensive specialist guy in these. I mean, you could put in the same 1v1 player if he's like the greatest 1v1 player of all time. But the attacking guy has to make it cross field and outmaneuver somebody, and the other one pretty much just has to hold lanes, so you can have like an offensive and a defensive special guy. Then you have, I don't know, offensive runners, defensive runners, whatever. You can change your team. That's why the roster got expanded to 12 now.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, you could have the same 5 guys playing offense, defense, and one of those play special teams. That would work as well. But 15 minutes is freaking exhausting, so you better get some more guys on that team to switch out every now and then.
In the 1v1, does that only occur is if the attacking team touches the wall? Is that
With the flag.
With the flag.
With
yeah.
the flag, that's the only time the 1v1 actually kicks off.
Yeah.
So potentially, if you went the whole day, nobody actually touched the wall. They just kept getting into these different zones, but never actually got the wall. You'd never have a 1v1.
Correct.
Exactly.
I like that. So it's an optional thing. So that actually, I don't know, it makes you want to touch the wall. Obviously, to touch the wall anyways. But just that little extra to be like, man, I'm going to make sure he plays today. He gets
Yeah.
the opportunity.
If you think about it points-wise, so if the offensive team touches the wall in their first try, because you always have 3 attempts, if they touch the wall in their first try, they can score 12 points. Plus they have the 1v1, which gives 2 points extra. If they score in their second try, it's only 11 points. If they scored in their third, it's 10 points, If you would only make it to zone, let's say you make it to zone 3 in your first attempt, to zone 3 in your second attempt, that would already be 6 points. And then you touch the wall in your third attempt. That still just brings you to 10 points. You don't get the other 6 from before. So these extra 2 points from that 1v1 come in really handy to just, just like in football, this extra point from the field goal, it just helps on the long road.
I love it.
It makes sure that the defense has less to do then,
I love
it's
it.
rough.
So you said the 12-man roster here. So, and I'm pretty sure I understand correctly. So we say me and my team. We have right now. I think we're like 13 people total, but we have an A team and a B team. It's the way we play at 5v5. So we have 10 of us anyways that always play. So more or less, we can gather our team together, our A team and our B team, make an offense and defense. And you said now that we can go up to 12 players. So what's the other 2? Are they optional for, say, the 1v1 on each end?
Whatever you want.
Whatever. You could have 12 1v1 players and just throw them in together, have them play pickup style 5v5s if you wanted to. You could have 12 attacking guys. You can have 12 guys playing whatever. You're not limited to any kind of cap on offense or defense.
Yeah, you're not. You don't have to say these are my attacking players, these are my defending players, and they can't switch. It's just you're allowed to bring in total 12 players, and you can do with them whatever you want.
And okay, but y'all are
By the way,
and it's a ton.
Reapers did that. Reapers Crew, which is a Belgian team, they had Reapers 1 and Reapers 2, and they merged it together to form a big Reapers team right now to play in Pro Div.
I love it, man. This is exciting. This sounds so interesting, so cool, especially on the 1v1 part, because I can think of several people that would just love that moment to shine. If I could touch, I'm gonna skip back.
Hook loves it as well.
What is it?
I said Hook loves it as well. This guy's totally into 1v1s. You can see him smiling through the mask when you hear it, when you see like somebody touching the wall. He's already like, "Oh, I got this. Let's go."
So tell me about is there any kind of, when it comes to reffing stuff, did anything change? Now I haven't got to look through these rules or anything along them lines. Has anything changed, or did some things get picked up from what we've seen before? Is there a mag capacity thing? Is there a round capacities? Is there feathering? Is there flashlights? Is there anything like that was carried over? Or is it is flashlights gone? Is there a round capacity? Is there anything like that?
It kind of stayed the same. We already banned the flashlights last season. Round capacity has been there since the beginning. 200 rounds max. The only things that changed are the trigger rules. So before there were no specific rules on trigger pulls, and if your gun is allowed to shoot when you don't pull the trigger. And now there's really strict rules. So your gun is only allowed to shoot once per back and forward movement of the trigger. Your gun is only allowed to shoot once per back and forward movement of the finger. And your gun is only allowed to shoot when the trigger is being touched. So, to give an example, with the qualifiers for Pro Div, I had a guy and I just saw him stand at the breakout wall and shoot his own feet while he's not even touching the trigger. And then he stood at the breakout wall, feet, weapon, dunk, didn't even touch the trigger. And I'm like, yeah, that's not allowed. So I grabbed the gun and I just looked at Bert, he was sitting upstairs and like doing the general organization of the event. And I just grabbed the gun, like, is this allowed? And it just goes, just empties, like,
so it was
30 BBs out of it.
The trigger was that sensitive that even touching the gun,
it was just
getting it on the back just made it go.
A couple of times, it was just 30 BBs gone.
Wow. Talk about a hair trigger, like that's wow.
Hey, props to him for setting it up, but I don't like it. I don't want my gun to shoot when I touch it. I want it to shoot when I touch the trigger. I want control.
Yes, I would agree with that. I mean, I've tuned my trigger before in the past when I was, when I first got a speed trigger. I was like, man, this is really cool. I barely touched the thing, but then it came too much. Because even the slightest up touch, when I did grab it, I'd actually fire. I'm like, I don't like that. I like to actually have a little wiggle to the thing. So I mean, I guess I don't know. We've seen it a lot here because the whole feathering the trigger thing, that's kind of scratched here, where somebody would literally kind of take their hand off the grip and literally rock the trigger and feathering the trigger. And that was really, really big thing here. And then recently, that's no more. You can't really do that anymore. And people, to kind of bypass that, started really tuning the triggers exactly how you're talking about, getting them so sensitive that, I mean, even slightly breathing on the thing, but actually I've never seen it to the point of bumping the gun. But wow.
Oh, that's easy.
Yep.
I think it's almost dangerous.
Really easy.
Like, it almost is. Like,
we had a player in Gran Canaria who used the gun of someone else because his own gun died, and he didn't do anything with the trigger. He just grabbed the gun and he was going to play with it, and he did the breakout, and he was standing in his shop, and then he went into the bunker and just kept shooting. He did a reload and he almost shot a teammate in the back because the gun was just shooting on itself. He did a slide and he took the gun around like half a magazine gone. And then they won the round and he drops the gun and the other half of the magazine just flies out. And I go to him like, yeah, that's not really allowed, right? I'm like, that's all allowed. He's like, that is not my gun. I gotta I got scared by it as well.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to do that, no.
That's a little embarrassing right there. Dead giveaway
Yeah.
too.
It was not even his gun. He was his own died. He used it and he was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I would be scared as well if I was using it.
Yeah.
Probably shooting your teammates more than enemies then.
Yeah, no kidding. Some people were saying it was still lagging. I'm so sorry, y'all. If there is a lag anywhere still, I'm so sorry. It's never lagged before, ever. I've never had anybody say that it's lagged, which I really do hate. Flashlights, Jeff. Tell me about flashlights. What do you think about them? Do you think? I mean, I know y'all banned them. Did you see an abuse with them or anything like that? I mean, we've had that discussion here where we're like, I didn't really care. If we had them, cool, we'll use them. If not, I don't care. It's cool with me. And I've never, and it didn't occur to me until somebody actually said it was talking about blinding refs. And I'm like, I guess I'm that naive because I've never tried to blind a ref, intentionally. I've shot at a player when a ref is right there. I'm sorry, Bubs, but I got to shoot, even though I might hit the ref there, I'm not intentionally trying to, but blinding one makes me think a little bit different and made me start to change my aspect on how a flashlight is used. I'm in more agreement with it now. It's like, all right, we'll just go ahead and pitch it. But was there a major problem with flashlights there? Was that
One specific player, I think. I think Luke also knows who I'm talking about. He's an awesome guy. He didn't do it on purpose to blind us, but
he
he
always
had one of those X300s on it. Just put it on constant mode when the breakouts of feed weapon constant mode, and it is breakout to blind the other players. And we're just standing behind the other players, trying to see what he's shooting, and just saying like, I don't see shit.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the problem. That one specific guy made us think about it because every breakout we couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
And it was his line he's shooting that we can't see, so it's not our problem. But on the general side of things, it's really annoying as a referee because we can't see it. And then the other players come up to, yeah, he got hit. Yeah, we can't see because we're getting blinded. And that's where it came from. One specific player is just using it, not abusing it, not intentionally blinding us, not even knowing he was blinding us, but it was the end result of the entire situation.
So what about? I think I'm going to blinding pet. Now, it's obviously not going to blinders. Are y'all allowed? Players are there now with this new one allowed to use, say, the Ace Tech Bifrost or the Blaster or anything like that?
Yes and no. You can use it, but without the muzzle flash on it, without the coloring thing. It's allowed to be used as a usual tracer, but you can't use any muzzle flash on it.
I like that though, and even though it's not bright enough to necessarily blind you, but at the same time, it can be very distracting.
It's annoying.
Yeah,
it is annoying too.
It's annoying. Yeah. It's distracting, and you're looking at a line, and then you see somebody in the corner of your eye, the flashes, and that your focus is gone because you get attracted to those flashes. That's why we said okay, no more trace, only the tracer, no more flash.
And it could also be used for cheating. So from a referee side of things, what you said about shooting a referee, he's standing behind the player. We're used to that. We are always standing behind the player. We're feeling the hits on our body.
Yeah.
And when a player goes in front of it, the BB stop, and we see that the enemy is still shooting. He goes in front, the BB stop, he goes back, and the BB start again. Hey, well, guess who called the BBs then? The guy in front of us.
Yeah.
We're always standing behind the lines, and that's why some of us get really shot up because we're always catching the back player lines.
Yeah.
What happens if we're catching them? So that's why we know that the player in front of us is getting hit, and we're also looking at what he's shooting because that's easy when you stand behind it. It's difficult when you stand right in front of someone to see if he gets hit. It's easy to stand behind the line to see where it's going. And if we're looking at a line to see if a player is getting hit and he's the player that's being shot at has a flashlight or a Bifrost that has the flash on, we can't see where the BBs are going. So from that perspective, it could technically be used to cheat and make sure that the refs can't see that you're getting hit.
Sorry, I was reading through his comment on this. No, I'm not downloading anything, Costine. All right. Well, Mark had a question real quick, and I'm assuming it's Mark. Speeds off Australia. He said, "How many touchdowns can each team get in 15 minutes?" So, what if one team gets one in first 2 minutes?
A look for you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So on the attacking side, you always have 3 attempts to score that point, and then the side changes. You go to defense, and then you would think, okay, game's over. I played offense once. I played defense once. No, you play for as long as the 15 minutes happen. So, as you can only score 1 touchdown, 1 flag hang within your 3 attempts, and then the possession changes, you can score as many touchdowns as you have offensive attempts within those 15 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, if you get a touchdown or a flag hang, and then you instantly get a snatch on the defensive side, you can get a second touchdown within another minute. So, yeah, the potential is endless, I'd say.
Yeah, to visualize this, I here have a score sheet of a practice game that we did last Sunday. In our attack, we got 2 points for getting to the second zone, and then we got 11 points for second try, flag hang, and we got another 2 points for winning a 1v1. Because of the flag hang, the first 2 points are gone, so we have 13 points. Then we managed in the second try of the other team to snatch the flag, and we did a flag hang instantly again in the first try. Then they did a flag hang instantly, we did a flag hang again instantly, and we won a 1v1, and then we snatched it again. And you can just keep on going until the 15 minutes are done. This was in a 10-minute format, and after 9.5 minutes they just said, hey, for training this is enough, we can't win this in any way, we'll stop, we won't waste BBs in the 30 seconds and try to get injuries because we're trying to play fast now. So, but you can just keep going on. So this was, this was four flag hangs within, I think, 7 rounds. So you can just keep going until time's up.
Oh, excuse me. That's a good, I mean, 5 said you can have unlimited points in theory. I get that. I mean,
can I jump in on the question of Mark again?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, feel free. Anything you see in the comments.
So, the question is, why change the value of a touchdown? So, first try is 12 points, second try is 11 points, and the third try is 10 points. That's basically so as Aaron says, 5 says, to reward good and aggressive attacks. And basically, a snatch will end the entire 3 tries. So, with this, we try to make teams want to go for the flag hang in the first try. And doing this will make it worth more, and otherwise it would probably have been teams just waiting for the third try and then getting the flag hang, so they don't have a risk of getting a snatch and losing the other tries when they go deep with the flag, because that's the danger you're taking. You're going into their territory with the flag to get the flag hang. If you get shot and they grab the flag, your tries are gone. And doing this
It also has to do with time management as well. The less time you take off the clock, the more points you are rewarded for it. So if you need 3 attempts, you're wasting more time, so you're taking more time from the other team away to have their offensive progression. So that's why there has to be something like that to then give the other team a comeback chance in that moment. See it like a Hail Mary. If you only have 30 seconds on the clock and you're like 11 points behind, you need to make it on that first attempt. Otherwise, you're not making those points, and otherwise, you're not making any time as well.
So it's full send at that point. Oh, Hail Mary.
Yeah. The flying V, the suicide gun.
The flying V. I like that. Looking for any other ones. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, the zones. That's what I'm. All right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to take in everything at once. I'm picking up the point system, the The touchdowns more or less and stuff. To explain the zones to me just a little bit, if you could.
Well, there's nothing really special to it, to be honest. So we've got the 50 line. Of course, it's easy to get there. That could be done off break instantly.
Yeah.
And then from there on, it's called the 60 and 70 line, but it's not really looked at percentage. It's more like a specific spot in the field.
Yeah.
So from there on, it's just basically the lines of specific bunkers, the beginning of them. That's the beginning of a new zone again. So you need to get past that bunker to get into the next zone. And basically it's so from the 50 to the first line of Doritos is the 60 line, and then the next line of Doritos is the 70 line, and then from there on you're in the next last zone basically for the 3 points. Then the breakout wall is actually the place you need to be for flag hang specifically. But there's nothing really special about the zones. It's just marked with tape on the floor. We're looking at chalk lines, or we're not sure yet how we're going to do it to visualize it better. But it's just specific spots in the field which are logical with the bunkers that are standing there.
Well, so that's what I was going to. So what does it benefit? Calling them zones or anything like that. What does that benefit if I get to the 60 there? Does that benefit me in any kind of way? I've made it past the 50. I'm in the 60, but the clock runs out.
You've got 1 point. You've got the further you get, the more points you're sure you're getting. So still, if a team manages to snatch the flag, where the flag was is still the points you get, and the points still stand. So if you're like, fuck it, just send it. I go into the 3 points. I only need 3 points to win right now. Just send it. Go past the 70. They snatch it, but I still have the 3 points. I win. So, and of course, there's also a attacking perspective. There's also an attacking perspective. Of course, you want to go further and kill them, of course. But from a points perspective, it's still the further you get, the more points you get.
Okay, that makes a little bit. All right. And I'm trying to pick up on these things. So let me touch a little bit on some reffing stuff. If you wanted to I don't know, kind of mentor more reps, what would be something that you would tell them? What would be the first thing somebody that's like, hey, they want to be a brand new ref, things like this? What's the first thing you would kind of direct them at?
First thing I'm thinking of, don't be afraid to get hit.
Yeah,
Don't be
absolutely. Don't even think about it. Just walk straight through everything.
Yeah, just walk straight through. Stay where you are. If it starts getting to hurt, then you can move a little bit. And sometimes also I see the BBs going straight up my face, and then I'm like, nope, I can't move. I just need to watch the other lines, and I get like 4, 5, 6 BBs straight on my head.
The commitment there.
Yeah, you have to stay there. And you can't, miss too much of the game.
So I like
and if you're a player, leave your brain outside, because you have this. You see BBs coming at you, and you just want to flinch away.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to stop that as a ref. As a ref, you see a BB, and your eyes have to go like, that's my BB, I'm following this one now. Ping! You cannot flinch, you have to stay there. It's like, turn your brain off, leave it outside in that moment.
And see,
Weird.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's like there's been several times, say if I was a time I'm playing back line, I'm shooting at Snake, and there's a ref on the other side. Low key, I kind of feel bad shooting the ref, but at the same time, I'm not going to slow down because you're not my target, but he is my target, and you just happen to be behind him.
You shouldn't feel bad at all. That's why, like, especially for us, that's why we're standing there. We want to see you shooting at this guy, and we want to see that guy shooting at you. That's why we're standing in that exact line. Just shoot at us. That's how we plan it out. That's our job. Just do it.
And maybe I haven't noticed enough, but I feel like there's not enough refs that I've come across here yet, and I could be wrong, especially over here. I've been out, I ain't been out nowhere West Coast to watch them, how they act or anything like that, how they ref. But I know, some of the ones we've seen here, a lot of them would move very quickly if they're getting shot at. They're just going to go ahead and move to not get shot.